I'm Teacher Stephanie from teachingstephanie.com or Teaching Stephanie on Instagram, and in today's video we are going to be talking about little to no prep Outschool classes. I'm so excited. This video is going to show you ways to create classes based off of materials that have already been basically created for you. I'm going to show you these in detail with Kahoot, Nearpod, and Canva. Let's get to it. Today we are talking about little to no prep lessons for Outschool teachers. I have been teaching there for over 1 year now, and I have loved the flexibility of this side hustle. It has provided so much for me and my family, and I know you'll love it too. If you want to learn more about Outschool, I will leave a link to a video here in the iCards, one of these sides, for you to watch and learn more. My goal in making this video was to give you the confidence to create a class and become a teacher with Outschool. I get it. It's very intimidating to create lessons, even if you are fine to teach something online. I hope that by the end of this video, you are going to feel confident in getting a class listed and moving on to teaching. There are so many resources created out there for teachers that are available to use, and I want you to take advantage of them and spend your time teaching rather than creating, prepping, getting slides ready, videos uploaded, games, worksheets, all the things. Spend your time teaching. First, let's talk about Kahoot. According to this article on learnsafe.com, Kahoot is a game-based learning and trivia platform. Kahoot can be used from any device through the website or the app, making learning fun and inclusive in all contexts for all ages. Teachers can create multiple choice games related to the class content that students can play as a class by entering the game code on their app or device. Kahoot offers multitudes of forms of games related to class content that can make learning fun. Now, instead of using a worksheet at the end of a lesson for your assessment, consider using Kahoot. It's a fun and effective way to measure your students' learning and the concepts you taught to see if they understand them fully. If you're looking to end class on an exciting note, Kahoot is a really great way to have fun while also utilizing the class concepts, the things you've taught. If you want to energize your class right from the start, use Kahoot as a bell ringer, as a class starter to get the students engaged right from the get-go of class. You can use Kahoot before you're introducing a new concept so that you can see what they already know, and then you can spend your time on the concepts they're not familiar with yet. It is such a fun way to gauge understanding without using a boring old worksheet. I was first introduced to Kahoot during the pandemic. My nieces and nephews were stuck in quarantine. We didn't get to see each other. I found Kahoot. We all came on Zoom and we all could play together Christmas trivia games, and it was so much fun to engage a whole bunch of different kids ages 2 to 18 in a fun interactive way where we could all do this online quiz. Everybody answer these questions in a little friendly competition, and I absolutely loved it. So I thought I have to share this with my Outschool friends. Here is a really fun example of a Kahoot game that you could play in your class. I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see, but here's an example of a multiplication game that I could play in my multiplication class. All I would have to do is share the link, and as you can see, you've got the questions here. Here's a little bit of the pictures, and they've got the answers written down here. The students check the answers on their device. They push one of these buttons, and this is the correct answer here. They can all see who got it right, who didn't. You get points for the more you get correct, and the faster you answer, the more points you get. So it's a really fun way to bring in some group interaction and to really assess your students' understanding. Now let's move on to our second no prep lesson material resource, which is Nearpod. This app is certainly a favorite of mine in the classroom and something that I regularly use with my students. You can create interactive slides, virtual reality, field trips, learning games, and video quizzes. One of the really cool things about Nearpod is their library of pre-made lesson activities. Just search for your subject, activity, the age range, and or grade to find materials made for you to use. I've used this for my ongoing multiplication class to quiz the students on the facts that we have learned that day. And I just used one of their pre-made time to climb games. This took 0 time for me, and all I have to do is send the link to the students beforehand. So I'm going to show you just me searching for something in the library. I typed in multiply by 4. These were the pre-made lessons that came up, and here's an example of the time to climb game that's already been created for me. I didn't have to do anything, and that I can just send to my students to play at the end of our lesson as a great review of their facts that they learned that day, the 4s. Let me show you the student's perspective of time to climb so that you can see what they're going to be doing. Here is an example of another time to climb so that you can see the student's perspective. First, they're going to enter their name and join the lesson. It will pull up time to climb, and then they get to choose their character. They can sort through a whole bunch of different ones. Will be the little penguin here, and they click start. Then they're going to race each other up the mountain. The teacher, me, has to click start. Here we go. I like how there's a little time limit here. They'll choose one of the answers. Boom. And then they get to go up the mountain as they go. It's such a fun way for your students to review everything and to assess their learning. I love time to climb on Nearpod. Now, if you can't find anything in these materials that I'm suggesting that work for you and the idea that you're thinking of, and you need help coming up with a plan for your lesson, let me help you. I offer consultations with teachers to come up with a solid plan based off of your ideas and my suggestions for learning activities. These consultations are so valuable for teachers to really get a good idea of what they want to teach and to ask questions about what will work and what we can leave out. Afterward, you can also purchase a lesson plan package where I will create a class listing form for you to copy and paste into Outschool for approval. And I will also do a class listing picture, a lesson plan with the pacing guide, and a class syllabus. Now, I don't create any materials for you like slides, worksheets, games, but I give you a solid plan to use to create these materials and to teach an amazing online class on Outschool. If that sounds like something you want to do, click the link that says schedule a consultation and I will send you an email with the link to schedule a date that works for you. Now on to my third point, which is Canva, the holy grail for online teachers. In Canva, you can use templates to create custom materials for your online class. Here, you can create slides, Instagram posts, class listing pictures, worksheets, etc. It's amazing. Now, I have a whole video I can link here in the iCards all about how I use Canva and a quick tutorial, so I highly suggest watching that if you are looking into creating your own lesson materials from scratch. Now, here's the dirty little secret you might not know about Canva. They have a ton of lesson materials already created for you. If you aren't scared about creating a class listing, you can search over their worksheets and slide presentations and use these to teach a class with little to no prep on your end. Hallelujah! Here are some examples of the worksheets that are pre-made and ready for you to use. So check these out. Here are just some of the worksheet templates. You've got some fall graphing that you can do. You've got some awesome ice cream coloring activities, some handwriting things going on, even matching the shapes. They're amazing and they're already done for you. You don't have to do a thing. Look at this. You could create an entire class, Australian animals, and use this worksheet as they're coloring along and learning about each animal. I'm telling you, go through Canva, look at their worksheets, and come up with a class. It can be so easy using these materials that are already created for you. And now here are just some of the slide presentations that are already created for you where you would just have to fill in the blanks. So you could do a math lesson here. All you have to do is welcome to my class, put a picture of yourself here, talk a little bit about yourself. I have 3 kids. I used to teach 3rd grade, whatever it is about you. You've got some class rules, what they're going to be talking about. So easy to just take their formats, fill in the blanks, and easily create your lesson slides without having to start from a total blank slate. Don't recreate the wheel here. Make it easy on yourself. Start with the templates. All right, my friends, that's it. I want to know, tell me in the comments if you used any of these tech resources before. I have used and loved all 3, which is why I recommended them, but I'd love to hear from you. What are some new ones that we didn't talk about? And if you liked this video, please give me a big thumbs up. It lets me know this is content you like, this is what you want to see, and I appreciate it so much. And stay tuned for next week's video, which is an interview with my friend Alejandra Londano, all about tutoring on Outschool. You are going to love it. To do that, make sure you turn the red subscribe button gray, and then you can see it when it goes live. And remember, if you have any questions, you can always comment below or email me. I'll leave my email here. If you want to learn more about finding the fun in online teaching, check out these videos on the screen. As my hero, Mr. Rogers says, let's make the most of this beautiful day. Goodbye!